Looks like the have-nots proved the old adage any given Sunday in a slugfest this week that led to 3 losses to top 3 teams. The must-haves won, but how long will it last? We'll ponder that at the site of a rib-happy Manly Dorkfest. Let's get started. Well, we got to start at the top with the Red Ball Express falling to local boy Dem Eagles, who rode LaShawn McCoy's 35 points all the way to the finish line. And then 40 points from Detroit's defense. That's what, Guru? It's crazy! Lucky for Red Ball Express, he's still number 1 in the league with a 6-2 record. Dem Eagles, however, puts themselves in a great position to gain better footage in the playoff race. Mizo's Runners has fallen to Sweater Puppets, 109.85 to 73.8. Mizo's Runners had to rely upon a shaky Tom Brady and very shaky Ahmad Bradshaw, while Matt Schaub and Ray Rice ran over the competition. Mizo's Runners still drops to 6-2 and is still number 2 in the league. However, Sweater Puppets, keep your eye on them. Just because he's floating a little low to the surface there doesn't mean that he's not going to later come around. He's 5-3 and clearly number 2 in the North. As Stepdads predicted, Steadfast is a winner this week in a very close matchup, 81.75 to 80.3. This pretty much came down to that Kansas City-San Diego game, which we'll be talking about a little bit later, as Philip Rivers has become bane to some and best friend to others. Steadfast will be at 3-5, and Stepdads will remain in the clear number 3 spot, number 2 in the West at 6-2. By the way, I made a million takes of this. And then to the best in show. The Despicable Eagles have squeaked a win out of the Juice Monkey this week in a very tight matchup, 105.55 to 104.15. This literally came down to that final moment where Philip Rivers dropped a fourth quarter fumble that led to the kicker for San Diego not actually kicking the final field goal, in which would have won Juice Monkey the game. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Good matchup, though. Some great performances out of some unusual suspects, Michael Vick and Mario Manningham, and on the other side, AFC greats Ben Roethlisberger and Fred Jackson contributing most of those points. I believe in Swoop going to 2-6 down in the Drunken Monkeys, 95.5 to 71.05, and Swoop said, "I don't need 8 players. I'll do it with 7." Great performances by AP and Brent Selleck. Drunken Monkeys had a weekday with the Dallas duo of Tony Romo and Des Bryant. The Monkeys will drop to 3-5, but still have hope in the West. Turd Herders will go to 500 in its win over Boston Brewskis in a game that was over just about before it started. In the first quarter, Turd Herders scored 94.55 of its 117.25 points in great performances by Manning and Jackson and Victor Cruz and a whole lot of other people. And unfortunately, the Boston Brewskis could only get 77.15 because he was on the opposite end of Philip Rivers dropping a 4th down, terrible drop, bad thing. Some great matchups this week as Sweater Puppets will take on Swoop Stinkston. I believe in you, Swoop, but I also believe in Sweater Puppets. Both of those are must-win games for either party. Drunken Monkeys and Dem Eagles, a very close 3-5 team and 4-4 team. Look for a good game coming out of that matchup. Stepdads and Boston Brewskis. Brewskis can put up some points if Tom Brady is throwing out to his receivers, and Stepdads just continues to roll over, and we are talking about Despicable Eagles and Steadfast will go against each other. That's always a great matchup. Those two split last year, and both of them need to prove that they deserve to continue to play for the playoff spots, with each hoping to have a win. Mizo's Runners coming off of a tough loss, and Turd Herders coming off of a great win will go next week as well. And the Juice Monkey and the Red Ball Express, both with a loss last week, but each of them scoring 100 points or more in most games. Look for a high-scoring game in that one. So we will see you all next week. In the meantime, check the waiver wire and keep your eye on the sky.